Hello, people of Legacy Tour Huntsville's Twitch chat. My name is Christopher Kucera. I'll be doing commentary for this round. We are watching Hyunki Kim on Grixis Delver versus Cecil Washington on Elves. Elves is traditionally a fairly difficult matchup for Delver decks, so I expect Hyunki will have his work cut out for him to get this game. Players will go ahead and shuffle up, get started. So our players will go ahead and begin. Cecil leads off with a Forest. To a Nettle Sentinel. Alright, looks like Hanky responded with a Deathlight Shaman off an Underground Sea. Unfortunately, Nettle Sentinel, one of the few one-drop creatures in Legacy that Deathrite can't profitably block. Cecil plays the Bounty Land guy. I don't remember what that one's called. I don't play elves, I'm sorry. I think it's the Priest of Titania that taps for the number of elves you control. And Cecil will be reminded of his trigger to untap Nettle Sentinel when he casts a green spell. Yes, we also love Legacy. Legacy is cool. It is the best format ever. Prime Wasteland target, Gaia's Cradle, gets taken out by Hyunki's Wasteland. Devil, get in for beats. No, he's exiling the Gaia's Cradle. And a Forked Bolt will take out both of Cecil's turn 2 plays. Then a Delver Secrets. Pretty decent start for the Delver deck. I just need to flip this Delver. I see a Bolt still in Hyunki's hand, so I could potentially turn into a 1-mana Stone Rain on that Dryad Arbor. One of my favorite plays. Delver will flip off of a Ponder. See what looks like a Volcanic Island and maybe a Force of Will still left in Hyunki's hand, as well as the Lightning Bolts. That will turn into the 1-mana Stone Rain and kill the Dryad Arbor. Cecil, still no other land drop or creatures to play. A little familiar with his deck list. I know he's playing Elvish Archdruids and other such more expensive elves, so he may have a couple of those in hand, or just some Green Suns and Natural Orders. I don't know if he has any more Dryad Arbors he could search up with a Green Sun Zenith. He will Cabal Therapy. I see double Natural Order, Elvish Visionary, and Glimpse of Nature. Yeah, that's an unfortunate hand to be stuck on one land. Cecil had been able to untap with a Gaia's Cradle and 3 creatures, this would have been a very, very different game. Looks like, I don't know what Hyunki named, but it looks like he missed, so Cecil will get to keep all of those cards that he still can't cast. Except for Glimpse of Nature. He could cast that, but he just couldn't do anything with it. The other unfortunate thing about Cecil only having a Nettle Sentinel as his creature is that it doesn't untap unless he's casting other spells. So he can't even just get in for regular elf beatdowns unless he starts getting other things happening. I think you will draw a Delver of Secrets. Get in for 3. I'll see if we can try to find out more clarity about life totals later. They should have dice somewhere up there that we may be able to see. I don't know if that isn't happening this time. I think we'll play a Delver and then immediately sacrifice it to take the natural orders out of Cecil's hands. Looks like, I think another Glimpse of Nature was Cecil's draw. That will be game 1 goes to Hyunki Kim on Grixis Delver. Players will go to the sideboard. I'll see if we can dig out their deck lists. Just a moment so we can find out if they have anything spicy coming in. Alrighty, so for Cecil Washington in the sideboard, we have 3 copies of Thoughtseize, 1 copy of Rurik Thar the Unbowed, 1 copy of Progenitus, 3 Abrupt Decays, a Scavenging Ooze, a Sylvan Library, a Choke, 3 Cabal Therapies, and a Pithing Needle. Let's see, out of these, the Choke seems pretty good. I think all of Hyunki's lands are going to be blue, so landing that would be pretty powerful, although maybe a little difficult. The Sylvan Library might be good. The Scavenging Ooze also might be good. It can be a good beater. It can also help gain some life. Um, the Abrupt Decays, I probably don't expect to come in. They might, though. Predator seems like a really hard thing to answer for Natural Order out of Hyunki's deck, so maybe that'll come in as well. And for Hyunki Kim in the sideboard, we have 1 copy of Kolaghan's Command, 1 Grim Lavamancer, 2 Pyroblasts, a Pithing Needle, 2 Cabal Therapies, a Flusterstorm, an Ancient Grudge, 2 Surgical Extractions, a Dark Blast, an Engineered Explosives, a Painful Truce, and a Grafdigger's Cage. So out of these, the Dark Blast, Explosives, and Grafdigger's Cage all seem really good. Kolaghan's Command is okay. Maybe that'll come in. The Grim Lavamancer seems amazing. Flusterstorm, Ancient Grudge, probably none of those. Maybe the Flusterstorm, but most of the instants and sorceries you care about are things he's casting early in his turn. Unless he's just going to combo off. But I would be surprised if that came in. The Pithing Needle from both players seems kind of subpar. I guess out of Hyunki's deck it might be better because you can shut off things like Wirewood Symbiote and the bouncy elf guy that Cecil played turn 1. Or game 1, rather. From Cecil, I think the best thing he could name is Deathrite Shaman, which he also has, so that seems kind of bad. I probably want to bring those in. I wish I'd been paying more attention. I might have been able to see what he's taking in and bringing out. But I did not. Let's see. What would they bring out from Hyunki's deck? Dazes are generally pretty bad against elves. They produce kind of a lot of mana. Um, Young Pyromancer also seems pretty bad just because they gum the board up so much. I guess you could use them as blockers, but I don't think that's really where Hyunki wants to be. Um, the rest seems pretty okay. I guess you're bringing out Pyromancers. You could think about bringing out some Gitaxian Probes as well. Those get a lot worse. From Cecil, geez, I really don't know much about the Elves deck. I could see him bringing out, let's see, does he have cavern? He has two caverns, so I found him. Also, do you guys have red ones?
You can't update them fast enough.
You don't have like the big dice we had previously though.
Well, those were Drake's that we use, and I could ask if he has them.
Okay.
I usually go in and like just edit it into the video that I post up later. But yeah,
For live, I guess.
yeah, for live, you just have to.
That's fine.
It doesn't usually matter.
Yeah.
Occasionally, it's like a race. And you don't have to.
Yeah. Alright, looks like our players have finished sideboarding and shuffling up. And they will go on to game 2. Assuming they don't mulligan. Nope, Cecil's mulliganing. Brutal. Out of Hyunki, I see a couple lands, some cantrips, a Pyromancer. So he did keep those in. Alright. And I'm not sure what the last card was. It almost looked like a True Name Nemesis, but I don't think he's playing any of those. Yeah, no copies of that, so I must be misseeing. Maybe it's like a force or something. It looks like a blue card, I'm sure. See a click? There's one click in the deck. Maybe it's the click that I'm seeing.
It was funny. I was actually looking around over here when I first came in. Not the first one that drew my eye. They have a Dr. Teeth. Oh, nice.
Yeah, that is the click that I'm seeing in Haggie's hand. So it looks like 3 lands, Ponder, Brainstorm, click, and Pyromancer. Is that 7? Yeah, that's his 7.
Oh, wow. Brother sent pictures.
Cecil didn't mulligan again, did he?
Oh, wow. That was the nicest my basement has ever
Let's see how many cards he draws.
No kidding. Like,
4, 5. Yeah, looks like he's down to 5. Jeez. And he will keep it and take his scry. Bottom's the card. He will start us off. A forest and a nettle sentinel. Very familiar opening. He draws a volcanic island. Fetches for a volcanic. Not sure why he. Well, no, I guess he has backup fetch lands. I was gonna say I wasn't sure why he would fetch for a volcanic if he had just drawn one. But he has a polluted delta to make that brainstorm a fetch. And 2 therapies and a lightning bolt. Ooh, that's something. I like the lightning bolt. He also has the pyromancer in hand still, so the therapies are really good. He draws the lightning bolt. The other thing is, if Hanky only wants one of the therapies, he can shuffle the other away with a fetch land. Well, then he doesn't have a fetch to have the perfect brainstorm. No, Hyunki, what are you doing? Cecil will cast a Wirewood Symbiote and pass the turn back. Now it's Hyunki's. He will fetch away the other Coil Therapy. And it's the Pyromancer. So next turn he can go Lightning Bolt, Cabal Therapy, Flashback Cabal Therapy. And then it will be very taxing to Cecil's already low resources after mulling to 5. And there's an Archdruid. And then a 3/3 Nettle Sentinel will attack. Cecil not swinging with his Wirewood Symbiote. I think that's probably for the best. If I was Hyunki, I would probably snap that block off. And then bolt the Archdruid. And then Cecil has 1 card in hand and a Nettle Sentinel. I think you're in a pretty good spot there, even if you don't have a Young Pyromancer. Looks like Hank, you might want to brainstorm instead of casting the Lightning Bolts. He does have backup lands in hand. So if he finds, say, a fetch land, he can put some lands back, fetch them away, and then Lightning Bolt anyway. And he finds no fetch lands. He does have a Wasteland, however. And Cecil has a Bayou you could Wasteland, but no Gaia's Cradle yet. Hanky does find the Dark Blasts. It's not very good in the face of a... Oh, no, Hanky did have a fetch land. Don't I look silly? Hanky will Dark Blast the Wirewood Symbiote. Oh, no, Wirewood Symbiote's still a 1/1. It's not an elf. Man, I'm missing like everything. Hanky will fetch away those lands. I expect that Archdruid to get bolted. That is my prediction. Yep. And it will die. A swing for 2 from the Pyromancer. And then we will go back to Cecil. Now with 2 cards in hand and a tapped Nettle Sentinel. Not in the best spot. He finds the right cards. Ooh, a Sylvan Library. That's a good one. He could be back in this game. With those tokens, his life total is going to start to be pressured pretty quickly. So probably just going to pass. In the face of 3 elemental tokens, I don't think you can swing your 2/2 Nettle Sentinel. That's just going to die. Fortunately, whatever card Cecil has is almost certainly going to get taken back of all therapy. Unless it's just bad. Because Hanky can cast it and then flash it back off the elemental token at almost no loss to himself. He will dredge the Dark Blasts. Flip Deathrite, a Brainstorm in. Not sure what the last card, or the first card rather, was. I think he does some Delvery things, including Wasteland a land and bolting a guy. Swings for 5. And then looks like he just passes back. I'm not totally sure why he's holding back the Cabal Therapy. Elves is a deck that likes to play out its hand to the board, so I don't expect Cecil to hold cards back very often. There's a good chance that he doesn't actually have anything good in hand, but at that point, I don't think Hanky can really lose anyway. So I would have favored casting the Cabal Therapy on his turn. So looking at his 3 Sylvan Library cards. Where it's outside influence to start chanting pay 8 at players that are resolving Sylvan Library triggers. He will not do so. Our influence didn't work. We're going to be getting proven wrong. Cecil has more cards in hand than he did last turn. Visionary will die to Dark Blasts. Another token will be created, and Cecil's life total has got to be getting pretty low. That's 7 damage coming in this turn. After 5 last turn. So Cecil has 1 turn left. Assuming he took any damage from anything else or Hyunki ever creates another elemental token. I don't remember Cecil using a fetch land, but it looks like he will just go ahead and concede the game anyway. A well-played game out of Hyunki Kim on Grixis Delver. He's a previous Legacy Tour Huntsville winner. Now going on to, I think, 2-1 after this round.